Hey there, this is Tim, and I'm going to go over my last 30 eBay sales. So you can see I'm up a little bit. My total sales are just over 8,000. In the last year, I've had months anywhere from 4,000 to 20,000, but I'm definitely coming up right now. First item, I mentioned this in the last video. My partner, he bought out a Watchmaker's repair kit. And we just had a lot of sales from it. He bought it mostly from the precious metals, but he's also been doing good on the watches. This is one of them. Here's a second watch, and you may have seen other videos where they talk about things which do not need to be working. You can sell for parts, and I found out this is one good example of it. So I'm glad he got this. This came in a big lot. We paid over $1,000, just over $1,000 for the whole lot, but we've already made our money back. This is an Arlo security camera. I forgot where we got this from. I think I actually used this for a while. I bought this from another eBayer a couple years ago, and then I went to a wired system. Though I like this, I didn't like the fact that I had to keep on recharging the batteries. So I went ahead and sold it. And when I bought it, let me tell you, I paid like just $330 for it. So I didn't get what I purchased it for. You may see some of my older videos. I'm surprised how well these old handsets do. I wouldn't say they are big sellers, but they are steady sellers. And they're really easy to pick up at thrift stores, too, for cheap. So this is one category I definitely look after. Now, when I bought this at the thrift store, I bought it on the half-off day, and I got it, I believe it was like $2.50. This is another item I picked up as part of a big lot. And we didn't get a lot of money for it. You can see it sold for $10.50, and that was with free shipping, so we barely made anything for it. So I think if I were to do this over again, I would have bundled it up with some other Xbox 360 stuff we had and sold it all as one lot. These are some Bose headphones, and we sold these on consignment, and these sold for the full price. Anything Bose sells well. And what a surprise, you don't see in this photo, but in other photos, the earmuffs, they were definitely well worn. The vinyl was worn off, and I called it in fair condition. But they still sold pretty well. Here's another one of those handsets. Now, I know I got this one for $2 at half off the thrift store. And you can see I made a pretty quick flip. It was less than a week old when it was up here. Now, this one I bought from a local auction, and I paid just over $11 for it. And you see we got $165, but we offered free shipping, and man, the shipping was like $35.40. So we're still doing pretty good on it, but it was definitely a more vigorous ship on this one. This one is another Xbox item I regret selling. You can see it didn't sell at the full price. And when I looked this up, I realized I was competing against a bunch of cheap Asian sources who can ship at really low cost. So I put it in the market. I think they're selling at $7.99, so I knocked mine down by a dime. It didn't sell. You can see it sold for $5.50, and that's with free shipping. So I'm sure I lost money on this deal. I shouldn't have put it together with a bigger Xbox lot. Here's actually sold a second one of these at the same price. Yeah, with all this Xbox stuff, and same thing. I wish I would have put these together. Here's another one of those watches. Now, none of these watches worked. They're just leftover scraps. But when I was looking at these, even sometimes just the hands themselves, you get, of course, the Rolexes and the Bodegas, you know, they can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the parts themselves can do pretty well. Here's another watch kit, and you can see we did well on this one. Oh, no, this one I bought from another local auction. I got it for like $6. So this was new out of box. And I originally had this for $99 with free ship, and it didn't go anyplace. So my partner lowered the price, but we shouldn't have added some shipping onto it. So you see it went for $68. But these these disc drums were way expensive to ship. I mean, it's like a 40-pound package. So I paid over $40 to ship it. So we didn't make that much on this one. Now here's something. My partner, I mentioned last video, he bought out a huge medical lot, and it contained a bunch of pipettes, and we sold all those separately, the good ones. So this is just kind of what was left over. Some worked, some didn't, and we threw them all together. And you said we still did pretty good on the overall lot. The really good quality pipettes we sold for between 100 and 200 bucks each. So I was glad he noticed this. Just this lot here by itself paid for our entire purchase. So you've heard me mention a couple times that Watchmaker's lot that we bought out. This is some more precious metal that went with it, and we just sold it by the grams. Here's some more of it, and sold by the grams. And of course, precious metals are always going to do well. This one, I have a bunch of appliance parts, and the guy bought this. I only listed it because I had like about 20 of these. Anyway, the guy who bought this ended up returning it. He said it didn't fit, which was a bummer. So I ended up taking a hit on this one. Here's another precious metal lot. And like I said, we've been doing good on these. And I've seen other people do this with a lot of scrap jewelry. They do very well in just bulking it together and selling it by the pound. Now, this one was sold on consignment, and we actually had a little confusion. When we originally listed this, we listed it as by Elizabeth Backrus. And some very nice watchers informed us, no, this probably isn't by her. It's probably by one of her students who studied from her. And so we went with that. But, of course, when you lack technical knowledge in the domain, and we have to deal with lots of domains, it's easy to make these sorts of mistakes. And I feel glad that we had good nature watchers who corrected us so we can update the listing properly. Now this one I actually picked up for free of a free bin at the thrift store. They just wanted to get rid of it. So I thought, oh, what the heck? I went ahead and I put it online. And you say I got 20 bucks for it with 10 bucks shipping. And this is, you wouldn't think people would need these anymore. This is a remote control extender for your TV, but no, people still wanted it. Here's another oil painting that we sold on consignment, and you can see it didn't do that much. I'm sure after we paid the free shipping and the cost, I'd be surprised if we even made $2 on it. I've been talking about those handsets, so here's another one which did pretty well. Luckily, it came with all the box and the instruction. It came with 2 belt clips, and you can see we got the 25 bucks for it. Now, I remember I also got this at the thrift store. They wanted 10 bucks. I got the half off day, and I got for 5 bucks. So the margin at least was still there. Oh, now this one, I also bought at the thrift store, and these tapes were originally $1 each, half off, so I got them for 50 cents each. And I put them up as buy it now. And no kidding, it went less than 10 minutes after I put it up. And it was originally buy it now best offer, and it went for the full asking price. So I think I may have undervalued these a little bit. And these were new with the seal on them. Here's another watch that we did well on. That came from that big lot I've been mentioning. This one, you can see these stock certificates. This is true of so many categories. That 98% of it is worthless, and 2% is worth something. If you know what that 2% is, you can do well. So this is something else we got that was part of the larger consignment. And we thought, oh, what the heck? We put it up. And we started at 99 cents because a lot of people specifically look for 99-cent bids. But we actually put up with free shipping. So you can bet by the time we paid for everything, we took a couple of dollar loss on this one. I've been talking about appliance parts. So we recently listed and sold this. What's nice about these appliance parts is they always have the code number on them. So they're really easy to look up and for people to do compatibility checks with. So I'm glad with what we got with this one. This came on consignment as well. And of course, stamps is another category where it's its own category. But the person who gave it to us was happy with the sale on this. So another stamp set that was sold as part of that consignment lot. And this is the last stamp out of that consignment lot. Oh, I'm wrong. One more stamp that came out. In fact, I was actually surprised how well this did, given that it appeared that it had some damage. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, be sure and leave it below. And otherwise, it'd be great if you subscribe. Thanks.